Let's talk DSLM. DSLM stands for Developmental Speech and Language Training through Music, and it's one of the clinical speech and language techniques we use in NMT to support speech and language development. DSLM interventions can target areas like vocabulary development, and I'm going to briefly talk you through how I designed a DSLM intervention for one of my clients. My client is a 5-year-old boy with quadriplegic cerebral palsy. He's non-speaking, though we are working on his oromotor and vocal output with other NMT techniques. His school had shared some of the core vocab they were going to be focusing on that term, and that gave me a perfect opportunity to help reinforce his receptive language using DSLM following an informal assessment of his baseline. And one of the songs I started with was based on the core vocab word of big. And I considered a range of elements that could inform the lyrics, prioritising semantic meaning through the use of synonyms, and also thinking about what would be developmentally appropriate for his level of understanding. For example, not introducing equivalent opposites at the same time. Motivation and humour were also very important. He has lots of teddies, which he loves, and the wind chimes are one of his favourite instruments. I also observed in our sessions that things like anticipation and sudden changes was something he found highly amusing, often falling into fits of giggles. When it came to designing the music, I considered the functional properties of music and how they could be harnessed to help drive the change, and selected things like melody, pitch, rhythm, tempo and dynamics, seeking to really intentionally support with things like word retrieval, reflect semantic meaning through kind of pitch jumps, a big pitch jump, for example, reflect the natural speech prosody and speed, and help accentuate the core vocab. Let's see what I came up with.
This teddy bear is big. He's large and round and tall. He gives big bear hugs, nice and warm. Be careful, he doesn't fall. This teddy bear is big. He's large and round and tall. But this teddy bear is a different size. He is not big at all. These wind chimes are big. They're large and long and tall. They ring and they jingle, they shimmer and shine. Be careful that they don't fall. These wind chimes are big. They're long and large and tall. But these yellow bells are a different size. They are not big at all. Big. Big.
You would have noticed me doing some Makaton on the core vocab words there to help reinforce that further. That was also something that was being carried out at school. And after introducing the song, where he actually was supported to have the big bear hugs and to feel the wind chimes, I then looked at recording the word big into his Big Mac switch for him to activate at different times using a live version of the song. So teaching him with the recording, having fun and being playful, and then really working on him being able to use that core vocab at the correct time, and then really beginning to look at that functional transfer, looking at different size objects, taking him around a room. Could he identify when we point at things, and really looking at that carrying over into every day. I hope that explains a little bit more about DSLM.